Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming over. We're going to be talking about this Shelby Shell trial today. I know there's some other stuff going on. We will eventually be talking about all that, but not in this live. I will do a separate live and talk about all this stuff that's going on with a missing girl. So I'm not going to put those two cases together. You guys know I don't like to do that over here. And so let's get to it, y'all. Okay. Hey, Miss Justice, how are you? Hey, Sassy Ann. Hey, little Deb. Well, little Deb, you may not have to rewind times two today. Poor little Deb, she's like, I'm going to rewind times two. I'm like, girl, I don't know how you listen to my voice like that. I bet it is pretty funny, though, for real. So today we are going to get into the Shelby Shell trial. And what I'm going to show you guys today, and let me tell you, these jellyfish are so cool. These are the coolest jellyfish I've ever seen. Yes, this has nothing to do with any creator. Okay? What we are looking at is inconsistencies in Shelby Shell's trial. Not only, inconsistencies within the court, but also inconsistency with what some of the witnesses say and things like that. Now, y'all know that I love to take notes over here. So I will be taking my own personal notes. I recommend you guys do it, but you know what? That's why I'm here. I do it for you. If we play something and you don't understand it, please feel free to ask. I do not mind rewinding a little bit so we can understand the context of how something is said. That is very important. If you remember anything, always remember you have to get the context on how something was said. Now, I just want to do this really quick. Okay, hang on a minute. Okay, hang on, I'll have to find it. Do you guys remember, class, when I played Ernie when he was speaking to Detective Cornett? Ernie made a phone call to Shelby. Do you remember Ernie basically love bombing Shelby, right? I love you, brother. You know I love you, brother. You guys remember that? I want to show you guys something here. Because I can. I'm glad I came live. I had kind of a bad morning this morning. It was kind of bad. It was kind of bad. Okay, let me find it on. This is going to be on General Awareness's channel. And I want to show it to you guys just to, I thought it was very, very interesting. So this is General Awareness, Ernie and Benny Keys talking. This was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, okay? Let me turn on the closed caption. Ready? Let me make sure it's up all the way. Yeah, you guys wouldn't have been able to hear that. Okay, here we go.
Ernie, do you love your brother? Do you love Shelby, Ernie? Why are you getting quiet?
Who, me? I'm not.
Yeah. Do you love your brother?
I do love my brother.
How come you've only ever told him one time when you were trying to get him to confess? He said, it's the only time my brother ever told me he loved me. That's how I knew something was wrong.
Ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. And that ain't what he mean by that. He did that because he's a criminal. He knew how to automatically.
That's what he said.
So, Ernie, oh shit, I didn't share it with you guys. What the hell am I looking at? Ernie, oh shit, I didn't share it with you guys. Hold on, something messed up there. Is StreamYard messed up? How did it come over to my live when I was showing? Because I know I shared the tab. Okay, hold on, I'll find it. Hold on, whippersnappers, I apologize. Lord have mercy on me. Lord have mercy on me. I apologize. Welcome to my low budget channel. I commentate. And if you get a little education, that's always a good thing. Hey, Cotton Candy. Hey, Marie. It's good you guys popped in. Thank you for popping in. And I'm going to say this, just so everybody knows, I am not saying, I cannot say that Ernie Shell is guilty of anything. I cannot say that Shelby Shell is guilty of what he took a plea deal for and went to prison. I cannot say if anyone else was involved. I cannot say those things. But with what I'm showing, my people all have a mind of their own. Okay, you guys do. You guys decide what you think about it. Don't forget now, the reason I'm showing you this, the only reason I'm going to show you guys this, and it's from General Awareness channel. When Ernie had the conversation with Detective Cornett, then he calls Shelby. And he love bombed Shelby. I love you, brother. You know I love your brother. You can kind of hear Shelby going, wait a minute. It didn't set right with Shelby. Now, Benny Keys had been, I know that he had some of Shelby's letters. I cannot sit here and remember off the top of my head if Mr. Keys actually had a conversation with Shelby. I don't know. Okay. I just thought that this was very strange in what Ernie says.
Ernie, do you love your brother? Do you love Shelby, Ernie? Why are you getting quiet?
Who, me? I'm not.
Yeah. Do you love your brother?
I do love my brother.
Wow.
How come you've only ever told him one time when you were trying to get him to confess? He said, it's the only time my brother ever told me he loved me. That's how I knew something was wrong.
Ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. And that ain't what he mean by that. He did that because he's a criminal. He knew how.
He did that because he's a criminal. Shelby said that Ernie only told him he loved him when he was trying to get him to confess. And let me tell you guys this, okay, just to let you know, I have had the pleasure for quite a long time to watch Mr. Benny Keys Okay. Benny is saying this. He's not. I can tell you right now, Benny didn't say that to Ernie just to get Ernie's goat. Somewhere, either that was said to Benny or he had firsthand knowledge that it was said. And why did it take him forever to answer? Why did it take him forever to answer? Now, I will look, I am not doing this to make Ernie look bad. Ernie can do that all on his own. Okay? I personally ain't got nothing for Ernie, but under no circumstances will I, on my channel or in my chat, fight with anybody who comes in and wants to try to defend Ernie or any other creator that may be mentioned. How y'all feel about them people or how you guys feel about them people. I don't know these people enough to feel any kind of way about these people. I'm just saying, okay? Thank y'all very much. It was wrote to Shelby to his mom in those letters. Benny had letters that Shelby had written to his mom and stuff. I know Benny doesn't, well, I don't believe that Benny got the paperwork, Lil Deb. He may have got some of it, but there was someone else who was getting that paperwork and stuff. Okay, so let's get started before I get off topic and we end up in BFE. Hey, Lust Lurk. Hey, Steven. So, what we're going to do today, we are going to start with a video called Evidence from the Trial from a creator called Not Today and the Cray Cray. Go over and check out her stuff. Hey, H. It's about time you showed up. H is, I'm that dude, H. Good to see you, H. I hope you've been doing well. We have missed him. He's been around. I've seen him around. Hey, Kiki. So, let's get this set up here. I think it's very important that we see exactly what evidence they had. But it's been really hot, H. You haven't been out running and stuff, have you? Okay, Poppy's in here. Hey, Poppy. I didn't see you, honey. Yes, H. Davis. I have a little job I would love for you to do. Tell Ken that we ask about him, okay? Tell Kim, remain calm, and her people ask about him. I was a little worried about him. He's a good one. He's allowed on this porch anytime he wants. Oh, you're on your hardwood job? I love hardwood. That sounded kind of pervy, didn't it? I didn't mean for that to sound pervy. I didn't. I swear. Okay. So this is evidence from the trial. Here we go. Closed caption is on for you little whippersnappers.
Already my understanding the Commonwealth has some brief evidence to put on today. Is that correct, sir?
Brief evidence, summation with the Detective Cornyn. He would be the witness to put on some evidence, and that would be it for the Commonwealth.
Okay.
Commonwealth made an attempt to, we worked hard yesterday, we came in early.
We did.
Stayed late. Commonwealth tried to do its very best to get its case presented in 2 days.
And then,
Wait. So they're saying right here that the Commonwealth put together this case in 2 days. Yes, we will keep reminding you guys, okay? Hey, Nada, this has nothing to do with any creator that may have in some way been a witness in Shelby's trial. Now, Ernie, yes, because is involved only because Shelby Shell is Ernie Shell's brother. It's in my little one of my lives. I showed it was on Speakeasies. I showed Ernie talking to this Detective Cornett and calling Shelby. I also went over the Mr. Collins interview with Detective Cornett. The pre-trial was over 2 days to show what could be used in court. Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
defense, again, rough time for me. I'm not holding your feet to fire. I'm not holding you to anything specifically. I just like to know for myself.
Is that all of our witnesses in the guilt innocence phase would be finished by tomorrow? We have 2 experts planned for today, several family members, friends, other types of witnesses. And then tomorrow we have a sheriff, I believe the firefighting chief for Everett's Toledo Powers, and our investigator to kind of wrap that up. So I think we should just have 2 or 3 to finish tomorrow. We have the one DOC inmate who has a transport order to be for tomorrow.
All right, and what about your expert?
So
I want to discuss
one expert is
that.
on intellectual disability and one expert is on special education.
And
Both of those are at issue in this false confession case, and there's a wealth of case law on false confession and being allowed to present a defense expert in those cases, including Teague versus Commonwealth, which is a case that has been retried twice here in Bell County.
What she wants to bring, she wants to bring individuals in to talk about false confessions. False confessions. I'm going to try not to stop this too much, okay, you guys? So, like I said, if you hear something you want me to go back a little bit, please just let me know. I was going to say something else and I can't remember. Okay. And yes, this is about a victim named Ronnie King. Ronnie King.
So we just want to be clear that Fabian is relevant in the guilt phase.
well, let me ask you something. You said a wealth of case laws. For just a minute, Mr. There's no, as I understand it, there's no notice of intent to introduce evidence of mental disability.
No, there's no intent to introduce a mental health defense. This is not a guilty but mentally ill or insanity defense.
And there is actually case law that says you have to do that even in mitigation.
Which we're not doing.
We're not doing a mitigation either.
But I mean, I'd like to see the wealth of case law. At least I'd like to see the main stuff. And you say Keith v. Commonwealth?
T-I-G-U-E.
Huh?
T-I-G-U-E.
See,
T-I-G-U-E.
can you give
What the hell? The judge can't even hear. Lord. Yes, I agree, Cotton Candy. This trial should have been much longer. And of course, I'm going to commentate on it because you know I can't keep my big mouth shut. Yeah.
me a site?
I can get a site, yes.
Well, I need to see it. I need to look at it before we allow anything like that. I'm gonna know what I'm doing here.
Your Honor, if I may respond, from what I heard.
Teague v. Commonwealth.
It's
Teague versus Commonwealth, yeah.
this case, she's saying that's a case and she's talking about the case where there is a confession. This is not a confession case.
No, it's not.
I'm sorry, I believe that statement is being treated as a confession, so that's our defense.
Excuse me?
That's,
The statement was not made to any law enforcement body. He was not under any type of custody or incarceration, anything of that nature. This is not a confession case. There's been no notice of an insanity defense. There's been no notice of anything. The expert, one of which they're talking about, was utilized for the argument concerning the death penalty when that was an issue. The Commonwealth took the death penalty off the table because of that. That expert was utilized for that type of argument. Nothing thereafter has been placed forward. We don't have any objection, even despite the lack of notice, for the mitigation phase, which occurs.
Thank you,
in penalty.
darling.
However, for the purpose of guilt, not only would we request that today, if they're going to put this person on, which we have no objection to, that it be outside of the jury and recorded until we can hash this out, but that we.
And I apologize for stopping right here. I wanted to let you guys know that yes, I played Shelby talking. I believe it was with Detective Cornett. You couldn't hear it very well. If you put your headphones on or both of your earpods in, you can hear it a little bit more than that. What I took from that interview was a lot of Ernie. When you first listened to Mr. Collins' interview, what you heard was Ernie. Ernie said, Ernie did.
We have an opportunity to brief the issue and inform the court of our arguments, which is not that, one, we're not in Harnett County. We don't have access to the internet right now. I don't have a computer that I can easily access the law. But from just the base knowledge, confession is a legal term of art. Okay.
Well, the Teague case I'm familiar with involved not a confession, but a guilty plea, where a guy wanted to withdraw his guilty plea, and the lawyer and had a standby lawyer who didn't, who just sort of backed off. And
yes,
that's the only Teague case I'm aware of.
The issues that we have looked at this morning.
If I can.
I'm gonna go through this just real quick.
Yeah, I'm talking with the
They're just arguing right now.
This morning, I briefly was able to look into this, and some of the issues that I saw with guilt phase mitigation concerned when the death penalty was on the table. It is not.
No,
it's under a specific rule regarding death penalty cases, which this no longer is.
No,
so we would have, that is our objection, and we would simply wish, we have no objection to them having the witness here today, taping that, putting him on, going about their plan as they intend to do so. We just want the opportunity to brief the issue before that's played to the jury in guilt phase. And that's the entire purpose why we have tried to get through our case as quickly as we did, was so that they could get these people on today, but we don't want it in front of the jury yet. I understand that's the court's decision ultimately.
Well, I mean, if you're going to put on evidence of a mental disability of any kind for the jury, you have to give notice.
And I wrote with the same.
It's an unpublished case.
So let me tell you what the
It's an unpublished case.
I'm sorry.
Is it unpublished?
No, it's published.
It's published.
You're not giving me
It may not be published yet. It may be to be published.
2017.
What happened was T versus Commonwealth, he entered a guilty plea. At the sentencing phase, he said, I want to take back that plea.
You want to
because my
withdraw a
lawyer-
plea? I've read that case.
So then they retried the entire case. And at the second trial, what happened was his whole defense was,
Okay, they're talking about a different case.
and the opinion.
Let me get through this a little bit quicker here. Okay, wait. I'm sorry, you guys. Fucked up. I messed up because I always do. All right, here we go. I'm sorry.
I understand that's the court's decision ultimately.
Well, I mean, if you're going to put on evidence of a mental disability of any kind for the jury, you have to give notice.
And I wrote with the same.
It's an unpublished case.
So let me tell you what the
It's an unpublished case.
I'm sorry.
Is it unpublished?
No, it's published.
It's published.
You're not giving me
It may not be published yet. It may be to be published.
2017.
What happened was Teague versus Commonwealth, he entered a guilty plea. At the sentencing phase, he said, I want to take back that plea.
He won
because my
withdrawal
lawyer-
plea. I've read that case.
So then they retried the entire case. And at the second trial, what happened was his whole defense was, I didn't make that confession voluntarily. And the opinion takes a long time to discuss the idea that false confessions exist and that people confess to crimes that they didn't do. And the defense is entitled to experts to argue that. Now, Mr. Lee wants to say that confessions is a legal term of art, but it's not. He clearly confessed to Ernie Shell and to Jimbo Collins.
He clearly confessed to Ernie Shell and Jimbo Collins. I want you all to remember also Shelby Shell's first trial ended in a mistrial. 6-6, if I remember correctly. Okay.
And on the tape of Jimbo Collins. And we heard testimony yesterday that that was the exact reason that the officer went and got an arrest warrant and arrested him within hours. The entire reason he was arrested was because of the confession. So we have to have a defense on why he said the confession, and that's what our experts are here for. They're here to say that Mr. Shell has a disability, and that because of the lifetime of experiences and how he grew up and the way his brain works, he is gullible, he has a relationship with Ernie Shell, and that that confession has context, and that we are entitled to put that on as a defense in the guilt phase. And that's
This is interesting, and I am going to rewind it a little bit. Shelby never confessed his crime to anyone in law enforcement. Shelby Shell spoke to his brother, Ernie Shell, and a friend of Ernie's that he had known for years, that Shelby had previously just met Mr. Collins because Shelby had been in prison. And I'm going to say also, we are not, we're not going to say what I thought I was going to say because I forgot. Because we 420 it over here. And we're proud of it. Except for Sassy Ann. Okay. So I want you guys to listen. When they talk about Shelby and what they're saying are his mental deficiencies.
It's a non-published case.
so. Let me tell you what the
It's a non-published case.
I'm sorry.
Is it non-published?
No, it's
It's
published.
published.
You're not giving me
It may not be published yet. It may be to be published.
2017.
What happened was Teague versus Commonwealth, he entered a guilty plea. At the sentencing phase, he said, I want to take back that plea.
He won
because my
withdrawal
lawyer-
plea. I've read that case.
So then they retried the entire case. And at the second trial, what happened was his whole defense was, I didn't make that confession voluntarily. And the opinion takes a long time to discuss the idea that false confessions exist and that people confess to crimes that they didn't do. And the defense is entitled to experts to argue that. Now, Mr. Lee wants to say that confessions is a legal term of art, but it's not. He clearly confessed to Ernie Shell and to Jimbo Collins and on the tape of Jimbo Collins. And we heard testimony yesterday that that was the exact reason that the officer went and got an arrest warrant and arrested him within hours. The entire reason he was arrested was because of the confession. So we have to have a defense on why he said the confession, and that's what our experts are here for. They're here to say that Mr. Shell has a disability, and that because of the lifetime of experiences and how he grew up and the way his brain works, he is gullible, he has a relationship with Ernie Shell, and that that confession has context, and that we are entitled to put that on as a defense in the guilt phase. And that's what we're
So what they're saying here, for those of you who did listen to the interviews, they're trying to say that Shelby is gullible on some things, especially when it comes to his brother, Ernie Shell. That's my opinion. I'm sure you guys got yours. Okay.
saying here. We are not saying that he is guilty but mentally ill. We're not saying that he was too insane at the time of the crime.
All right, let me ask you this. Is this
Those
the
are
welfare
offenses.
case law?
I'm sorry?
Is this the welfare case law?
Well, there are
No,
other
there's
cases.
more. That's
I will
just
tell
most
you,
current.
I got Dr. Fabian's name from a case where he was excluded and it was reversed because they did not allow.
Which case is that?
Huh?
Which case is that?
I don't remember the case name. I just remember that's how I found Dr. Fabian. I'm sure I can look it up before the end of, the hour.
Dr.
We would just
Fabian.
request that the court pay particular attention to who this quote-unquote confession was made to. Was it a law enforcement entity or body, or was it a brother outside of any custodial arrangement? But nevertheless, our objection remains, and we would request that the testimony be made initially outside of the presence of the jury so that we can brief the
Well,
issue.
we'll know more later today. Go ahead.
Just to quickly respond to what Mr. Lee said, I think that's an argument they can make in closing arguments.
All right, just hang on. We're not there yet, okay? We're not there yet. I'm gonna read this thing. The welfare case law in this unpublished opinion.
It's
So, let's see if I find it, Dale. Are we ready to get going?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's go ahead and bring the jury in. Let's just bring.
Okay, the
Is there anything
jury's
else?
coming in.
I believe that Ernie Shell was on Facebook call last night. I just wanted to bring that to the court's attention. I don't.
Oh my. So they mentioned Ernie being on Facebook. Why did you have to do that right now? I'm going to keep playing that, and then I want to pull up something that my people are going to find really interesting.
He's not testified today.
Ernie Shell, I thought he was excused.
He's subject to recall.
He's subject to recall. Well, he's not supposed to be on Facebook. I'll tell him not to be on Facebook.
Your Honor, we've told him, I know even Detective Cornet told him before you entered the order.
I never got an order to sign.
Why I got that, right?
To me, and I never got it.
Yeah, it's my fault. I didn't do that.
Okay, well, he's never been
Right
ordered
there,
to
I
be
got
on
it.
Facebook.
He has by Detective Cornet.
Okay,
And he was in court.
And so I don't know if he was, I don't know. I'm not on Facebook.
I'm not either. I don't know how to get on.
In fact, I don't even know how Ms. Hudson or where she posted those photos, but I heard
I
about
took them
them.
down, Judge. I just talked
Okay,
about
thank
how
you.
well he
Thank you.
worked
No
so
photos.
well.
Right,
Looked
thank
so
you.
good. I took them down.
Thank you.
This is very interesting that they mentioned Facebook, and I have to go there. Okay, I really do. While they're mentioning that, now, let me see. I want to see exactly what date this started. Okay, this is from. Well, she posted it October 19th, 2022. This was from March 13th of 2019. Right there's the date. And I know what y'all were saying. Hey, RC, you dumbass. The date's right there in the right-hand corner. I know y'all were saying that. The actual crime took place in 2013. Right? 2013. Hey, June. So I'm just going to give you guys a little taste of what they were speaking about. Ernie Shell, Shelby Shell's brother, being on Facebook. Let's see. I've got the dates I need to be looking at. So we're going to look at March 14, 2019 first. Let me find it. They're bad. Ernie Shell was on the Justice for Ronnie King Facebook. Okay. I'm trying to find the one I'm looking for. So March 14th, that would have been the day after. He was on here quite a few times. It was bad. Okay, let me go ahead and I'll look for it while we continue on with the trial. That is why Ernie Shell being on Facebook was mentioned, and I'll show you guys. Ernie was all up in Justice for Ronnie King Facebook from 2013 up until 2022. I've got him on there September 7th, 2022 also. Okay. I apologize, you guys. Let's get back on track here.
Yeah, Facebook's turned into a curse. I mean, is that it? Let's bring the jury on in.
Yeah, we're still to jury.
Okay, let's wait till we get there. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We don't want to go without the potential alternates. So, okay, all right. We had a hard time counting 12 yesterday. Yeah. It's tough.
Raise a question. She sent it to me.
Oh, this is true.
Just
Here, I'll go through that a little quicker. Let's get on it here.
All right, stop.
Thank you. Detective Cornett,
This is Detective Cornett.
to bring us back to where your investigation continued in this case. We've introduced the evidence from the search warrant and then the arrest of the defendant. Did you, in continuing your investigation, could you just briefly summarize for the jury what you did finally, or were there any other evidence that was part of your case? Any statements that you saw on television or anything like that assisted you in putting your investigation together?
Yes. Shelby Shell, after being arrested, was transported to the Harlan County Detention Center in Harlan County. I interviewed Mr. Shell at the detention center. I read him his Miranda rights. Prior to any statement being taken or recorded, he refused to sign the Miranda rights waiver. The conversation was recorded. He stated that his brother Ernie Shell had set him up to take the fall for Ronnie King's murder.
Shelby Shell said that his brother Ernie Shell set him up to take the fall for the unliving of Ronnie King.
Ernie Shell had the gun, and that Shelby Shell did hold it, but it did not belong to him. Ernie Shell had given him the jury that had been recovered from him at the time of his arrest.
Sorry. I want you guys to hear this because I want you to remember what Shelby's saying about the weapon also. Okay?
Waiver. The conversation was recorded. He stated that his brother Ernie Shell had set him up to take the fall for Ronnie King's murder. Ernie Shell had the gun, and that Shelby Shell did hold it, but it did not belong to him. Ernie Shell had given him the jury that had been recovered from him at the time of his arrest.
Okay. Do you guys remember when Ernie called Shelby while he was with this Detective Cornett here? He mentions the necklace and finding the necklace in his room, and it was really cool, and he thought that his brother would like that. Do you guys remember that? Also, the weapon. The weapon was said, now this is not, if I remember correctly, the weapon that was used in the crime. There was a weapon that was taken from Mr. Collins' house. He assumed that Mr. Shelby Shell had that weapon. Okay? So what Shelby is saying, it was Ernie's weapon, and I was holding it for him. Okay, wait a minute. Notebook, reread note. Ernie told Cornett in that interview that Shelby didn't have the weapon today, but would have tomorrow. Thank you, Flies. Thank you very much.
And the jacket with the bullets, the change, and all belongs to Ernie Shell. He states that he was with his wife on February 17th, and they were on their way to play bingo. When I asked him where they played bingo at, so I could confirm his whereabouts, he states that they didn't make it to the bingo hall because they got into an argument.
Wait, I heard Shelby say that they made it to the bingo hall. He just couldn't remember exactly the name of the place or where it was at. And he even described talking about $2,000 kitty at the bingo parlor. Please tell me that y'all heard that also. Thank you, Cotton Candy.
Later discovered that Mr. Shell gave a videotaped interview with WYMT TV, and he states that he was at work. I checked with his work, CQIS Incorporated, or a business in Berea, and according to his immediate supervisor, Lee Miller, he was not at work on the 17th or the day before, or he was not at work the day before, on the date, the day before, or the day after.
Now, let me ask you about that. He had indicated that he was at work to you.
He indicated at the WYMT that he was
On the
at work.
WYMT, he said he was working,
Yes,
but that was a voluntary statement he made to the press.
yes, sir.
And also, just to let you guys know, that is in this video, that not today in the cray cray. Okay, that is in this video.
So you felt it was your obligation to check out his work. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And I believe I heard you tell the jury that, who did you talk with?
Lee Miller,
And who was Lee Miller?
his immediate supervisor at CQIS in Berea.
Did he confirm that Shelby Shell did work at some time for that organization?
Yes.
But on the dates that were relevant, the 7th.
I'm confused because if Shelby was working, why would he have to borrow money from Mr. Collins to pay his child support?
17th of February 17, 2013, and February 18, the day the body was discovered, 2013. He was not at work.
That's what he told me. Yes, sir.
So did you continue with trying to verify other alibis that you may have become aware of?
At some point, Mr. Shell said that he and his wife went to a McDonald's. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was in London. I checked with that McDonald's to see if they had any security video footage of the drive-through, and they had none at all.
You were questioned yesterday about things you didn't do and things you did do.
He checked and they didn't have any videos at all. So, see, you got to listen, because is he saying they didn't have any video, or is he saying that they had the video from 2013 and that they said he was not on the video, right? Ernie was the one telling Shelby he was behind on everything. And please, you guys, please remember, we're not in here to attack anybody. We're not in here to attack creators. We just try to make sense out of nonsensical things on this channel. If you are telling us something that might have taken place in this case, if it is not fact, please put, in my opinion. It only takes a freaking second, okay? So please do that. And thank you for putting a queue for question. You know, when I see that, it's easier to know somebody's actually got a question and not just making a statement or something. I took it as no video footage at all. Yeah.
Was it relevant for you to go immediately and check with the McDonald's security cameras?
Not immediately, but sometime after that.
And they had it, and you were able to check it. Is that correct?
Not at McDonald's, no, sir. I think Mr. Shell may have had a receipt in his pocket with a date. I can't remember the exact date, but I checked with it's facts from the Madison County.
Shelby had a receipt in his pocket from McDonald's. Ernie's statement was on the call Cornett recorded between Ernie and Shelby.
County Public Library. I think that may have been in Maria. I checked with them and got the security footage from the video during that time.
Of the library.
Of the library.
He had a receipt that he had sent a fax. Is that what you're saying? Or
Yes, it had a date on it, and I was trying to confirm that.
Who had put the date on it?
I have to look and find it, sir.
I mean, what kind of receipt was it?
I think the thing that interested me was it was a fax, maybe a letter or fax that had a date on it. And when I checked with the library, the date on their fax machine was off.
The date at the top of the page.
Yes.
It was off.
Yes.
Not set to the correct date.
That's correct.
Other relevant facts in that you as you concluded your investigation.
I just went to WIMT and got a copy of the interview.
Did you take photos of there's a lot of things in bags, and you showed some yesterday to the jury. Did you take photos of the items that you seized at the time of the arrest and subject to the arrest warrant?
Yes, sir.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Mm-hmm.
I'd ask you, and we'll see if we can turn the machine up.
Says Lynn.
Okay, while they're doing the sidebar, I want to show you guys the Justice for Ronnie King Facebook. This post is from March 14th, 2019. Okay. It says, I am so sorry for your family. I wanted justice, but justice failed your family. Let's see if my ears and I heard and seen this right. Did she just say what I thought? Did she mention the word pillow? Last time I saw her was in 2012. The police never told anyone what happened. So how did she know to say pillow? Could be because she is Shelby's girlfriend and not mine. I know how we can prove all this. Let's take a look at the jail and prison records, prison recorded phone calls, shall we? Now, Ernie is talking about this woman, and what's her name, Flies? I don't remember her name. Okay, maybe I should have saved this for after she testified. Okay, but this is Ernie. He's trying. It's like, why is he trying to defend himself? Okay, so Ernie, I'll read this to you again some other time when I come upon her. Okay, they're gonna start showing some pictures of evidence. Let's get into this. I know I'm talking too much. I'm going to show all that, Flies. Let me find it, Flies. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, guys. I have a question. Who gave the jewelry to law enforcement? I know, Flies. I was messing up. I'm all over today. I am going to show his Facebook stuff. I definitely am. Hang on a minute, you guys. I'll fix that. I apologize. I don't know why it did that. Boy, I'm probably the most shitty channel on YouTube. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm sorry, you guys. It should be okay now.
At the time of the search warrant was executed in Berea,
At the Shelby Shell residence and at
it's
his,
been outside of his residence.
at his vehicle.
Yes.
Okay. Could you just briefly go through, and Your Honor, we've identified them. We will be moving to
It's good
introduce them
now,
as
right?
collective 11, I think, isn't it? 12. Collective 12, these photos. Just briefly, the jury can see them, counsel can see them, what these depicted are. Of these photos that you have all these been introduced earlier, the actual product, the actual as evidence?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so make sure that what you show are things that have been put into evidence, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
This is the gold chain. This is the black paper clip. This is the silver ring that I showed yesterday. Here, 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 and here. There's some jewelry that's been damaged, beaten, folded. You can see in this ring here it's folded. Here, I think that may be a ruby that I made mention of. Here, and there's a ruby. Here, I don't know if they were earrings or if they were settings from this silver ring.
This was silver and gold.
Silver and gold, yes, sir.
Okay. I think you have some other photos that are maybe closer.
Over here is the white cell phone that was recovered.
All those were in Exhibit 9, in the collective Exhibit 9. And just briefly, what was that?
This is the what appears to be a men's Kentucky cluster ring, or I will say a Kentucky cluster ring. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. Then here in the corner is some loose diamonds. It appears to have been damaged, mangled, destroyed. That was in the Ziploc bag that showed the jury yesterday.
From the, I think it's Exhibit 9 and 11, jewelry, black cloth bag. It was inside the black cloth bag.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It was difficult for them to see, and I just thought it would be helpful to see how you collected that. A few more photos, please.
Up here in the corner, or the top of the page, is the black silk bag that all this was in. This is a better look at the silver ring. It appears that there should have been some settings along the edge here. Here's a red ruby. So I don't know if that came from that ring, but then here's the gold necklace again. Over here in the corner is the another of the beaten, damaged gold rings.
Please continue. What was this to depict?
I forget if that's way to get in there. Okay, this is just the same jewelry, just spread out more so you can see it better. The gold necklace, damaged parts of the ring, appears a silver ring. Here appears to be ruby settings that possibly belong in that ring, and then here's the black paper clip.
Next.
Then here's the corner is the black bag that came out of in the white phone that was also seized. This will be the front passenger side seat. Here is the sock that's wrapped in plastic.
Could you turn that the other way? It's shown on the picture upside down. Yeah,
Better.
that's better.
Better.
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
Okay, what was that?
This is the front passenger side seat of the 2001 black Ford pickup.
And that's where the pennies were.
Yes, this was a penny. It was inside the sock.
The wheat penny, and I think you identified as a piece of script from Yoakum Creek Coal there in Harlingen.
Yes. That was all inside the wrapped up plastic.
Okay. That's where it was when you found it.
Yes.
Continue on. Just show the other items where they were, just to give the jury a better idea of how you found them and where they were when you found them.
Just a closer up view of the same bag. I'm trying to.
Okay.
There's no work exactly right.
Next.
This is a.
And I'm going to tell you why that's kind of interesting to me. Hey, Debbie. If the pennies were in a sock, why would you feel the need to wrap them in cellophane? That makes no sense to me.
Picture of a light gray zippered hoodie with a box of Smith & Wesson 38 caliber ammunition in the pocket.
And the hood, and that's a gray hoodie.
It's a gray hoodie, yes.
And remember, Shelby said that that was Ernie's jacket, is what Shelby said.
And here it is, displayed on the back of the truck. Same hoodie, the same box of bullets.
Go ahead.
This is the cash can that was presented. That was in the floorboard, rear passenger compartment floorboard behind the passenger side seat.
Okay, next. Just go through just as, you can sort of continue. I want to move for them to be an exhibit. I just need you to identify them, that they're all things that you took.
This is a Marlboro cigarette box that had 38 caliber ammunition
In a cigarette box.
in a cigarette box, yes. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that was recovered from the passenger side's front door.
And I'm sorry to stop this, but I have to say this because y'all know if I got something to say, I got to say it. Why would someone commit a crime like that and have every single bit of evidence right in a truck where it can be found? Make that make sense.
And this is where the bullets was recovered from. Here you can see the Marlboro box. This is the passenger side front door where you have the electronic or electric window controls. If you lift that up, then inside the door panel is where I recovered those.
Inside the door panel. Okay.
This is appears to be the same light gray hoodie, and then the other pocket is a box of Winchester 38 Special grain. Try and get that where y'all can see it.
Hollow point. Tell me they're hollow point.
38 caliber Special plus P 38 caliber ammunition.
And why I ask that is because I don't remember Mr. Collins stating if any of the hollow point 38 special ammunition that he got from Walmart, if it was gone or if any had been taken. I may have overlooked him saying that.
Were those boxes full or empty? Were there any missing?
I'd have to look.
They're in the evidence.
Yeah, I think some of them are partially empty.
Any other photos?
Those are not that you provided me to show.
Are all of those introduced during the collective exhibit? I think not. So this has been collected. We moved in and this photo, this report, those items.
It would be collected 12.
This is 12.
Any objection?
No.
It's already in evidence, these items are, I believe. All right, they're introduced as collective Commerce Exhibit 12 without objection.
Just to aid the jury if they don't want to go through all that, to see those items. You mentioned that you saw an interview you gave with WYMT.
All right, will counsel approach, please?
Shelby did an interview with
All right,
a
question raised earlier.
news
Before the
organization.
jury came in about the YMT video, he's in jail, Orange. It's three objections.
He was just arrested.
Excuse me?
He was just arrested. So, like, they literally got to him before the former attorney in Harlan got to him. I don't think I'm objecting based on his wearing orange in that video. It's also
He was just arrested, of course, right? Okay, there's no objection.
I'm
So
acceptable.
the fact that he could have been released after the video is still out there.
I was going to say, I'm not talking about the arrest, just part of my reason for it.
I will speak up a little bit, Will.
We're going to talk about his arrest.
I'm going to talk about his arrest and how soon it was, so I'm not really hiding from that fact.
Okay, all right.
But I'm toying with the idea of asking the court for just an instruction, a one-time instruction saying that they're not the judge's guilt innocence based on his outfit in the video, and then just leave
All
it
right, I'll admonish him. I'll tell him that. right now. Okay, and so we're gonna.
What they're talking about on the sidebar is the fact that Shelby gave an interview to a news organization and he had just been arrested. So he's in his orange jumpsuit.
We'll show the video at this point.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Commonwealth is going to show a brief interview. I don't know how long it is with the YMT. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
It was after the defendant's arrest, and he will be, I'm informed, in an orange jumpsuit. You're not to make any, take any, or reach any adverse inferences or have any adverse inferences over that. Obviously, he was just arrested, and that's what they wear. So that doesn't go to guilt or innocence in any way or shape or form. So please just bear that in mind. Okay. All right. We can go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll put the video up. Did you collect this from WYMT?
Yes, sir, I did.
And you paid them for it?
Yes, sir, I think for $42.
$42 for it. So we shouldn't worry. Okay. Your Honor, somebody let me find our assistant over.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, I apologize. I'm adverse to electronics.
Well, every time we try to use electronics, something goes south. So, yeah. I've learned you can't really count on living up to your hopes.
Good practice.
We need it. We need young people. We need young people to help us with this stuff.
Are you planning to?
You put it in class?
Well, I'm pretty illiterate myself in these things. All right, let's get this up here. Takes them a little while to set it up. All right. This is Shelby after he was arrested, giving an interview.
I'll tell you what. Would y'all like to take a break?
Did my chat
Yeah, I
stop?
see the nod here. Let's just take a 10-minute break while they get all this set up, and then come on back and it's almost set up. But take a break anyway. I saw a nod over there,
Okay.
so
Let's
we'll be
get
back
my
in 10
start.
minutes. Same admonition.
And I think we went to there it is.
That is Shelby Shell. He is Ernie Shell's younger brother. Okay, that's gonna drive me crazy. Let's get it.
Shelby Lee Shell, SHELBY, LEE, SHELL.
Like you go by Shelby Lee or however you.
Just Shelby Shell.
Okay. And how old are you?
29.
And you live in Maria?
Right.
You're from?
Harlan County.
All right, just tell me a little bit about what happened today.
Oh, I took my wife to work and stuff, and I called my boss first, Lee, and asked him that he wanted me to work today, and he said the truck ain't coming yet. And I went ahead and took her to work and stuff, and I come back, and I said, what happened? I took somebody to the store, they had to go get something, cigarette store, and I come back, and I went and got me something to eat at Dairy Queen. Then after that, I was sitting in a parking lot, waiting on my brother to pick me up, because we're going to spend a brother today, you know what I'm saying? I've been locked up all my life, and my brother's going to pick me up, you know, and so I'm going to I do, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to, it's too high of gas that way. After I get gas money, you know what I'm saying? If he wants to come pick me up, you know, I buy some shoes and some clothes and stuff. He's got the pics on his phone, you know. And he said, I can't help right now, this and that, you know, like, because of that lady. But He said, I'll call you about 13 minutes. He takes that on the phone. And so I was waiting on him to call me and do something, you know. And so I was talking to one of my buddies on the phone. That's by the time a van pulled up. They was all camouflaged up. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just coming from rock. You hear me? For real? Because I didn't know what I seen guns and stuff. I'm like, is this real? You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? For real, you know. Next thing you know, it's telling me to drop the phone and stuff. And I went to drop the phone. It's my wife's phone. It's time to get out of the truck. And they said, drop the phone on the ground. I said, look, man, and they said, shut the phone around there. There's a law then, you know. And I said, we cop cars. I said, I ain't gonna drop my phone. I lay it on the ground. You know what I'm saying? They said, drop the phone. Got people gonna shoot me and stuff. So I'm going to lay the phone down anyway. This is on the ground, you know. So I got on the ground. They said, put your hand behind your back. I put my hands behind my back. Then they told me to call film. So I called film and stuff. And I tried to ask them what was going on. They said, they tell me. They never tell me how I got here, you know. They kept on, we went from here to, I think, I ain't for sure what was that, but we changed cars. They put me in another car and brought me on here.
So you had no idea you were coming to Harlan County?
I didn't know nothing.
And so once you realized you were coming to Harlan County, didn't know what your mind.
Well, I didn't know. I was like, you know, it's a mistake. They got the wrong one at first, you know. But when they said I got one phone, I'm thinking, well, it's child support. Why didn't go to court? But I paid my child support and already, you know what I'm saying? They called up and they said, go and fax my paper. And I said, well, they won't come at me like that. No, you know what I'm saying? Not that, bro. Something happens, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, they wouldn't tell me nothing. I was like, I'll be whatever it is because I'm innocent, you know what I'm saying?
How long have you been in Maria?
Let's see.
Just brought that to get out of exact.
Probably November 14th. I said, I got up November 29th. December 14th.
So just a couple months?
Yeah.
Okay.
So December 14th.
What's not out of
Oh,
did you know, so did they tell you what they brought in here for? They told you?
yeah, they brought me in here and they said it's still, it was a charge and stuff. They said it was,
Okay, he's gonna, I think, read the charges. But I have a question. Did Ernie, is he saying that Ernie was going to take him to buy boots at one time? Did Ernie help him in any way buy the boots and stuff that he bought for Shelby wanted to get a job working in the mines?
first grade murder, first grade robbery, first grade arson, kidnapping, handful of physical evidence, murder first degree, and Whitley County, possession of a handgun, not convicted felon. I had no handgun. I mean, that my handgun, you know. I probably had a handgun used to, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I ain't
My brother had a handgun yesterday.
around the gun, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really, I seen it, you know what I'm saying, looked at it, you know, but I got into it back to a lot of around the gun, but I did anyway, you know, I had it back and I around them, you know, but.
So what did you think when you were trying to murder?
Oh, that's it, man, then I called the house, I took out the lock first, they told me, you know what I'm saying, I said, it'll be okay, I'll be in court, because I will, you know, because, I mean, I didn't do it, you know what I'm saying, they got evidence, I mean, you know what I'm saying, I ain't done nothing, then, my brother, he's from Whitley County, and that's where the gun's from, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I should have had something back to him somehow. But, anyway, I don't know, I called my stepdad, he said, well, I just called, said, you gonna kill us all? I said, well, I was just up there used to, you know what I'm saying? And I tried to get him to stop there, and he didn't stop. He said, him and my stepdad was having trouble and stuff, and he didn't want to stop there, you know? But I said, well, let's see mom anyway, because I come all in anyway, you know what I'm saying? I see mom and Steve, you know, and the kids and the babies. But, no, I just called on my free phone call, so I called my wife and stuff, and I see, I couldn't get a hold of it, they recorded with his answer machine on the phone. Then I went and called my stepdad and stuff, my mom, and they went on what Eric said. And I was one I was with yesterday, you know what I'm saying? They gave me some gold for real, just a little bit pieces of gold, and some nice stuff, you know? I mean, I didn't understand that. I also looked at it and everything. Give me some, like I said, diamonds. I don't know if it is not going to be diamonds. And that was it. Then he said, I got some change for you and stuff if you want. I said, no, they don't change. I got money. He said, no, man, it's old money, so it worth something. Like you give you, might give it to your kids or something, you know? So I got it. And then he said, that's worth a lot of money, man, you know? So I went to put it in the house. And I put his jackets in the house and stuff, you know? And I went to grab the jackets and stuff this morning, threw them in a car. And when I threw them in the car, I outside the box, seen him. So I'm good now. You know what I'm saying? So I look, there's a box of shells. So I sat down in front of the seat. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got around, but you know what I'm saying? So I sat down in front of the seat. He's on his way, supposed to, you know what I'm saying? He'll pick me up. And when he does, I'm just going to go and get this stuff, you know? This is.
So, wait. It is on Not Today, Cray Cray. Should I have played it by itself? So the day that the day that Shelby got busted, he was waiting on Ernie. Right? Well, I would rather play the full video and hear it good than to have it messed up. Hold on, I'll go find it. You know how I am, because I'm not hearing it as good as I should either. Let me find it here. You guys, please go check out the Not Today and the Cray Cray. Let me find it. Give me 1 second, you guys. Let me see where she's got it at. Here it is. Okay, give me 1 second, y'all. And I apologize. I know it was messed up. It was hard to understand. Okay. So I'm going to show you the interview from the news and not what they're playing in court. It's the same thing though, you guys, okay? It's the speakers or something from the court. Okay, so here we go. Let me get the closed captions on for my peeps. Here we
Steve
go.
Hensley. First on Night Watch, police say he shot and killed former Everett's Mayor Ronnie King and set a fire. But Shelby Shell claims he is innocent. Police arrested Shell this afternoon at his home in Berea and brought him to the Harlan County Detention Center. WYMT's Angela Sparkman talked to Shell and has tonight's top story at 11.
29-year-old Shelby Shell grew up in Everett, but moved to Berea when he got out of jail in December. But now he is back in jail, charged with the murder of Ronnie King.
It's like, you know, it's a mistake. They got the wrong one at first, you know.
Police say someone shot King and set his home on fire 1 week ago in Everett.
I knew him. I liked Ronnie. I always liked Ronnie. He was always good to me and stuff, you know.
Shell says the mother of his children rented an apartment from King and says he borrowed money from King recently. Monday, state police arrested Shell at his home in Berea for King's murder.
No, I ain't even been in there. Spirit, I got proof. I was at work and stuff the whole time. I couldn't be in two places at one time, and I live out there in Berea.
Police will not say what led them to Shell in Berea, but say they have enough evidence for the murder charge.
This arrest comes from a week-long investigation. However, we can't go into any details what led us to Mr. Shell, except that we feel that we have enough information to charge him with the murder of Mr. King.
So everything's going to be okay. I'll be in court because I will, you know, because, I mean, I didn't do it, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got no evidence on me, you know what I'm saying? I ain't done nothing.
In addition to murder, Shell is charged with robbery, burglary, arson, and tampering with physical evidence. His bond is $500,000 full cash. In Harlan County, Angela Sparkman, WYMT Mountain.
Okay, that wasn't really the whole interview there, but it's okay. So Shelby says that well, yeah, Nicole. I mean, we know for a fact that Shelby says in this interview that he was waiting on Ernie. Now, the thing that kind of got me about the wheat pennies being in the front seat of the truck, why, if they were already in a sock, why would you wrap them Why would you wrap them? Kind of weird.
Bringing money, I got a buddy wants money, you know what I'm saying, wants to buy money. And I'm like, all right, you know, so I run in the house, back in the house, because it's on cell phone, you know what I'm saying? I run back in the house, I grabbed it stuff, and I set it back over, you know what I'm saying? And that was it.
Were you in Everett's last week, this time last week?
No, I mean, really, that's good. I got proof, I was at work and stuff all the time. I work for a company called Nico, and I work for CQIS, that's the CQIS, the Nico or whatever. But anyway, I work all the time and stuff. I mean, that's for the company, they got cameras out and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Let's see.
Now, Detective Cornett said he checked, and Shelby wasn't at work the day before, the day of, or the day after, I think he said.
No.
Did you know Ronnie King?
Yeah, I knew Ronnie King and stuff. The one I got the baby by, Tabitha, she used to ring apartment outfit and stuff, that Eastbrook and stuff. I knew him. I liked Ronnie. I always liked Ronnie. He was always with him and stuff, you know. I bought $50 off him not too long ago. I started getting married. You know what I'm saying? For real, just saving my marriage papers and stuff. But it was going up, but she ended up paying for it, my wife did, you know. And I went and got a check, you know. I was going to pay Ronnie back. You know, I went for court the 20th. Got to come in for the 20th, you know what I'm saying? But that was it. I ain't seen Ronnie since.
So what did you think when they told you?
So Shelby borrowed 50 off of Ronnie King, and then Mr. Collins says Shelby borrowed $70 from him to pay for child support. But if I remember correctly, the $50 that he borrowed from Ronnie was because he had gotten married. She said last week, not the night.
You were accused of killing Ronnie.
I did all the time for real. It kind of scared me, let me out, you know what I'm saying, for a minute, you know. I beat it, you know what I'm saying. I would be in court because I didn't do it, you know what I'm saying. I know I got alibis and, you know, I've got seen on tapes, I've been places, you know what I'm saying. I've kind of been to places at one time, I live out in Korea.
You know, you said Ronnie died then?
Yeah, I like Ronnie a lot. Ronnie was good to people. Ronnie was a good man. He really was. He was good to everybody. People, I mean, he never looked up to people, you know what I'm saying? He rented places out, I mean, women and kids and stuff that didn't have a place, you know what I'm saying? Ronnie was a good person, for real, really was.
So you're saying you wouldn't hurt Ronnie?
No, Lord, no. I love Ronnie, man. I mean, he's a good friend of mine, you know? I mean, I went that close with him, you know? I mean, just, my sister, really, I've heard him a few times, and, Tabitha rented out for him. He's always been good to me. I take the rent money all the time and stuff, and she would win, you know? And he's always been good to us, for real. They were always good to us.
Did you know he's dead?
No, I really didn't. I think it was my brother called his dad, or he called my mom. I think I called my mother's house and stuff, and my uncle went Everett or something, then he come back in saying Ronnie was dead and stuff. And I said, are you serious? You know what I'm saying? Say that his hands was chopped off, his arms and stuff, that was horrible, you know what I'm saying? It really was, you know? Because I like Ronnie.
Not even really for your friends, they were not type, brutal type.
Yeah. Taped up to each other, stuff his throat cut. That's bad, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I could hurt a fly, you know what I'm saying? I'm not nothing snakes in life, nothing prison, you know what I'm saying? Before then, you know what I'm saying? Just when I was young and stupid now, you know what I'm saying? I've grown up a lot now, you know? I just, back to 2000, you know? I never gonna mess up like that. I just ain't got out, you know what I'm saying? I just ain't got married, you know? I was very good, man. I was.
You were very tight, that was just a girlfriend.
That was one of my girlfriends and stuff at the time. Yes, I made it right.
Okay.
We have to remember that Shelby is it's rough right now, King James. It's rough right now. It'll pick back up. It's the courtroom audio. That Shelby is a criminal. Okay? So that fact is not hidden from anybody, that he had been in prison prior and had gotten into problems prior.
Questions, anything else you want to say or add or anything?
Yeah, I don't know why my brother called my mom in and say, that I was gonna kill mom, and he took me to grandma's, and I'm supposed to kill her too, but we took her to church and stuff, and I got out of the car, I was gonna walk her up the things, but she said she's all right, so I waited and watched her till she got in the church door, because she had walked around the ramp and stuff. I love my family, man. I would never do my family. Y'all know what my brother was doing this to me for. I guess, see, I was with my sister when I first got out, and, anyway, I met this girl and stuff at, some kind of store Walmart or something. Then I turned around and, found out she used to be married to my brother. Well, she still is married to my brother. And, I said, wife, I didn't know he was married and not like that. And I got with her. I didn't know he was married. I didn't know he had a wife. And I took her to my sister's house, my neighbors and stuff. And I called her and asked her. She said, well, I know her. That's my husband. I said, you said you're single, you know? I said, that's my brother, you know? And I felt kind of messed up about it, you know? But I called her and my brother. And I said, brother, you know, tell me what they think about it. Is he all right with it? For me, let me know, you know? And, evidently, I mean, he held it up, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I got real used to it because he's going to have a brother day, you know? Now, if I was still, I was going to spend some time with him, and I had nothing to do yesterday. My lady, she was going to work yesterday and stuff, and we were going to get the baby after work, but then my brother called me and stuff, you know what I'm saying? He wants to spend some time. I said, well, you know, we're going to watch a movie or something, but instead, we ended up going all together, you know?
And yeah, Shelby talks really fast, right? And we are not saying that Shelby is innocent of anything. But hey, Sonia, hey, Exploited. But what I would like for you guys to remember also, hey, Be the Bean, is the fact that Shelby, like I said, the first trial ended in a mistrial. Shelby ends up taking a plea for complicity to commit red rum. That word says a lot. Complicity.
I don't understand it, you know? But I want to see what my brother did like that because I texted him today and stuff and told him, I said, man, thanks for doing that for me. Because every time me and my wife always had an argument and fall out or break up for a couple of days or a night or two, he'd always come get me, you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't know why he would do it like this for, you know? I love him, you know?
I got a degree, or kind of like a fresh start or whatever you.
Well, I was living in Viper first, staying with my sister. I followed down there first. Then I couldn't get a job down there, so I went in and I got that trouble with my brother's wife and stuff, took me down and right off and left me. And I got some trouble and stuff on the cross, so I called my boss and I was telling them the truth and stuff, what happened and stuff. They got the big me. And I let the brother talk to him and stuff, then I got to talk to him and they was like, well, they were going to move me. My brother's house. My brother wants to get this dude named Dave or Mike or somebody to move in with him. And
Is that the video you received from WIT that you paid for?
Yes, sir, it is.
Did you examine it many times?
Yes, sir, I watched the video.
And did you rely upon that as you continued your investigation to go down various paths, or as you mentioned, your hand, various fingers to go down various leads?
Yes, what I could, I did.
Your Honor, we'd ask that the actual video be introduced as exhibit, Commonwealth's Exhibit 13.
Is there any objection?
No, yeah.
All right. The video just played will be introduced as identified and introduced as Commonwealth's Exhibit 13.
And of course, as the judge has admonished the jury, he's been arrested, he's in jail, but he was innocent then, and he sits here today innocent. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
But you felt it's your obligation to follow these various leads, excuses.
Now, this is a thing. Even with this Detective Cornett, when Shelby was speaking to him, Shelby's like, you know, I was getting with Ernie's ex and he was saying it was all right. But now I'm thinking it wasn't all right because Shelby says he felt like he was set up by his brother, Ernie Shell.
His alibis, if you want to call it. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, as best I could.
Could you explain to the jury how you did that or what you did in terms of the any relevant information about his brother and things of that sort. And the location, whether he was at work, and various other statements that were made. Did you try to give the benefit of the doubt and look into those allegations?
As he stated to me that he had been, he and his wife were on the way to bingo. They got in an argument and they went to McDonald's in London. Contacted the McDonald's in London, see if they had any video or if anybody can remember. Talked to the manager. I can't remember the manager's name. Advised if they had no video footage of the place. Found a receipt in his pocket or a fax letter in his pocket when he was arrested. Had a date on it. I checked with the Madison County Public Library. Got their video footage. Checked to see whether or not the date on the fax machine was correct or it was off. The date on the fax machine was off, I think a day and some hours. As he said on the video, he was at work at the time of, he was not in Everett, he was at work. I contacted his boss at CQIS, Lee Miller, who informed me that he was not at work.
Shelby did say he was at work.
In terms of the summation and the conclusion of your investigation of Mr. Shell, what were the relevant high points that led you down to the final conclusion?
The statement from Ernie Shell obviously got me going down this path. The information that Mr. Ernest Shell had about the zip ties, that being kind of, I kept that close to the vest of myself. James Collins' statement, pretty much matching Ernie Shell's statement.
So you guys just heard that. Ernie knew about the zip ties. Well, I don't know why it's echoing for you, Kathy. I really don't, babe. So Ernie knew about the zip ties, and the investigators kept that close to the vest. They're going with Ernie's statements and Mr. Collins' statements being basically the same, right?
The fact that Ernie says that they go through a road check. Saw some troopers. The trooper was working that night. I called him in. He said, "Yeah." I said they come through the road check. It kind of, led more support towards Mr. Ernie Shell giving me the truth. The talking to James Collins and him and getting the taped phone call, obtaining the search warrant, going to the residence and finding the items that I was told by Ernie Shell and James Collins he would have, that he had, that matched the description that the family had given me on the 18th of items that were stolen from the safe. Old coins, mine script, jewelry.
So Ernie knew where everything was. Yes, this trial was in 2019. 2019.
I don't know if it was in a report or not, but I remember one of them telling me he had a Kentucky cluster ring. Putting all that together, the evidence I found in the truck that's been introduced here. That's the reason I went down that path. It's been suggested Kevin Dixon was a person of interest. He was initially. I still have the items that we took from him on the first day. Those have not been returned back to him. The evidence officer was here. He had them here with him.
But you think you cleared him with the evidence that you got?
Yes, like I said earlier, you go down working a murder investigation. So I palm your hand, you go down this one, and you go down this one, and then you finally go down one. It takes you further and further and further until you get to the conclusion that we're out here today. I mean,
in your investigation, you listened to the statements that he made to WYMT reporter, and you compared that. Did you compare that with the recording from just a few days earlier that of him talking with James Collins?
Yeah, just some of the mannerisms in the voice. You can hear Mr. Shell talking to us. You hear me? And those two things are the recorded phone call and the interview. Those two things are in common. when Mr. Shell is talking, you hear him say, "You hear me? You know what I'm saying? You hear me? You hear me?"
And in terms of the conversation that was recorded just a few days earlier, he seemed to have more knowledge about the situation, or a different knowledge than in the WYMT interview.
Yeah, he told James Collins something completely different than what he told WYMT. Now he killed Ronnie King by placing a pillow over his head and pulling the trigger of a gun.
In the WYMT, he talks about he knew Ronnie King. He was good to him, good to his family, good to his wife. He liked him a lot.
Yes.
You heard that?
Yes, sir.
And in the recording with telephone recording, is that the same Ronnie King as in your investigation that he called the stupid son of a bitch before he put a bullet in his brain?
Yes, sir. That's the same one.
There's been some questions about what you didn't do. About DNA? What did you collect any evidence for DNA?
Yes, the medical examiner collected a what we call a sexual assault kit, which basically takes in evidence from the person that's combed head hair, combed pubic hair, pulled head hair, pulled pubic hair, the underwear, different things like that. All that was sent to the crime lab for examination.
Was there any DNA evidence of Shelby Shell?
Was there any obtained?
Any that linked Shelby? Any that linked Shelby Shell with DNA?
No.
Were there any fingerprints?
No, we tried to get fingerprints from us. Sent the duct tape from the body to the fingerprint lab. The fingerprint lab itself came to the crime scene and attempted to gather latent prints. None of the items that I submitted or that they come and tested recovered any latent prints.
Wait. Because, well, law enforcement can lie, can't they? He asked Shelby when he was talking to him why his fingerprint would be on that duct tape. Did he not? Right? Well, Debbie, unfortunately, Shelby got into some trouble while he was incarcerated. We'll get into that. I haven't really got into that, but we'll get into that. But yes. Wow. Okay. So there was no DNA, is what he's saying, on those items. I'm gonna rewind it just a little bit so we can make sure. Okay.
Now he killed Ronnie King by placing a pillow over his head and pulling the trigger of a gun.
In the WYMT, he talks about he knew Ronnie King. He was good to him, good to his family, good to his wife. He liked him a lot.
Yes.
You heard that?
Yes, sir.
And in the recording with telephone recording, is that the same Ronnie King as in your investigation that he called the stupid son of a bitch before he put a bullet in his brain?
Yes, sir. That's the same one.
There's been some questions about what you didn't do. About DNA? What did you collect any evidence for DNA?
Yes, the medical examiner collected a what we call a sexual assault kit, which basically takes in evidence from the person that's combed head hair, combed pubic hair, pulled head hair, pulled pubic hair, the underwear.
No, Mish, not yet,
different
honey.
things like that. All that was sent to the
We're getting to that though.
crime lab for examination.
Was there any DNA evidence of Shelby Shell?
Was there any obtained?
Any that linked Shelby? Any that linked Shelby Shell with DNA?
No.
Were there any fingerprints?
No, we tried to get fingerprints from us. Sent the duct tape from the body to the fingerprint lab. The fingerprint lab itself came to the crime scene and attempted to gather latent prints. None of the items that I submitted or that they come and tested were recovered any latent prints. It's kind of, CSI, you watch it on TV, they can solve 3 murders and a goat raping in an hour, but, real life, it's been 6 years to get to this point.
The fact that you didn't have any fingerprints, didn't have any DNA, didn't have a security camera showing the murder take place, did that change in any way your investigation and your conclusion that Shelby Shell killed Ronnie King as you testified earlier?
No, it did not.
Is there anything I haven't asked you about or Mr. Lee haven't asked you about in terms of your investigation that led you down this path to where we are today?
No, sir, not that I can think of.
Have you heard of anything in this court or anything at all in the years since 2013 that changes your investigation or changes your professional opinion of this investigation and the conclusions?
No, sir.
And what do you believe today in your heart?
That Shelby Shell murdered Ronnie King, robbed him of his belongings, committed burglary by not being in the house or remaining in the house when he's not allowed to, and kidnapping by tying his hands and feet in his face.
That's
and
all the
burning his
questions.
house. Arson.
Thank you. That's all the questions I have, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
So there was nothing showing Shelby did this. It was everything that Ernie said, right? I don't know, Mishu. Replay what your surveillance. Oh yeah, I'll rewind it. Yeah, we'll definitely listen. It did not link Shelby. You guys know I'm not real good at rewinding. Okay. Hopefully I went back far enough. Probably a little bit too far, but that's okay.
Right to give the benefit of the doubt and look into those allegations.
Well, they stated to me that he had been, he and his wife were on the way to bingo. I got an argument, and they went to McDonald's in London. Contacted the McDonald's in London, see if they had any video, if anybody can remember. Talked to the manager, I can't remember the manager's name. Advised if they had no video footage of the place. Found a receipt on his pocket or a faxed letter in his pocket when he was arrested. Had a date on it. I checked with the Madison County Public Library, got their video footage, checked to see whether or not the date on the fax machine was correct or it was off. The date on the fax machine was off, I think a day and some hours. As he said on the video, he was at work at the time of, he was not in Everett, he was at work. I contacted his boss at CQIS, Lee Miller, who informed me that he was not at work.
In terms of the summation of the conclusion of your investigation of Mr. Shell, what were the relevant high points that led you down to the final conclusion?
The statement from Ernie Shell obviously got me going down this path. The information that Mr. Ernie Shell had about the zip ties, that being kind of, I kept that close to the vest to myself. James Collins' statement, pretty much matching Ernie Shell's statement. The fact that Ernie says that they go through a road check, saw some truth.
Remember when Mr. Collins talked to Detective Cornett, there was a lot of Ernie said, right?
The trooper was working that night. I called him in. He said, yeah. So they come through the road check. I kind of, led more support towards Mr. Ernie Shell giving me the truth. The talking to James Collins and him and getting the taped phone call, planning the search warrant, going to the residence and finding the items that I was told by Ernie Shell and James Collins he would have, that he had, that matched the description that the family had given me on the 18th of items that were stolen from the safe. Old coins, mine script, jewelry. I don't know if it was in a report or not, but I remember one of them telling me he had a Kentucky cluster ring. Putting all that together, the evidence I found in the truck has been introduced here. This is the reason I went down that path. It's been suggested Kevin Dixon was a person of interest. He was initially. I still have the items that we took from him on the first day. Those have not been returned back to him. The evidence officer.
So they've got another person of interest that they took items from, but yet that's interesting, isn't it? And the residency was Ernie Shell's house, right? What do you mean? Shelby had lived with Ernie. He had stayed with Ernie at some point, right? Yes, it is also harder to appeal a plea deal. I will do this just to make y'all understand what is complicit. Just so, because I want to make you understand. Okay, in criminal law, now listen, this is what he pled to. In criminal law, complicity is when someone helps, encourages, or solicits another person to commit a crime, also known as aiding and abetting or accessorial liability. An example of complicity: loaning a weapon to someone who they know is planning to commit a crime. Interesting, right?
Was here. He had them here with him.
But you think you cleared him with the evidence that you got?
Yes, like I said earlier, you go down working murder investigations, I come to your hand, you go down this one, and you go down this one, and then you finally go down one. It takes you further and further and further until you get to the conclusion that we're out here today. I mean,
you said that this man with the first name Kevin is still a person of interest, and you had not even returned items that you had taken from him. I thought I just heard you say that.
In your investigation, you listened to the statements that he made to WYMT reporter, and you compared that. Did you compare that with the recording from just a few days earlier that of him talking with James Collins?
yeah, just some of the mannerisms in the voice. You can hear Mr. Shell talking and said, "You hear me?" And those two things are that's the recorded phone call and the interview. Those two things are in common. When Mr. Shell is talking, you hear him say, "You hear me?" You know what I'm saying? You hear me? You hear me?
And in terms of the conversation that was recorded just a few days earlier, he seemed to have more knowledge about the situation, or a different knowledge than in the WYMT interview.
Yeah, he told James.
I do want to say this. Please keep in mind, it will come out in trial that Detective Cornett is basically saying that he knew the phone call was legit because of the way that Ernie talked, right? So he knew it was Ernie talking to his brother, right? It's going to be very interesting because at some point, someone talks about Ernie and sounding like Shelby. It's very interesting.
Call it something completely different than what he told WINT. That he killed Ronnie King by placing a pillow over his head and pulling the trigger of a gun.
In the WYMT, he talks about he knew Ronnie King. He was good to him, good to his family, good to his wife. He liked him a lot.
Yes.
You heard that?
Yes, sir.
And in the recording with telephone recording, is that the same Ronnie King as in your investigation that he called a stupid son of a bitch before he put a bullet in his brain?
Yes, sir. That's the same one.
There's been some questions about what you didn't do. About DNA? What?
Here we go.
Did you collect any evidence for DNA?
Yes, the medical examiner collected a what we call a sexual assault kit, which basically takes in evidence from the person that's combed head hair, combed pubic hair, pulled head hair, pulled pubic hair, the underwear, different things like that. All that was sent to the crime lab for examination.
Was there any DNA evidence of Shelby Shell?
Was there any obtained?
Any that linked Shelby? Any that linked Shelby Shell with DNA?
No.
Were there any fingerprints?
No, we tried to get fingerprints from us. Sent the duct tape from the body to the fingerprint lab. The fingerprint lab itself came to the crime scene and attempted to gather latent prints. None of the items that I submitted or that they come and tested recovered any latent prints. It's kind of, CSI, you watch it on TV, they solve 3 murders and a goat raping in an hour, but, real life, it's been 6 years to get to this point.
The fact that you didn't have any fingerprints, didn't have any DNA, didn't have a security camera showing that murder take place, did that change in any way your investigation and your conclusion that Shelby Shell killed Ronnie King as you testified earlier?
No, it did not.
Is there anything I haven't asked you about or Mr. Lee haven't asked you about in terms of your investigations that led you down this path to where we are today?
No, sir, not that I can think of.
Have you heard of anything in this court or anything at all in the years since 2013 changes your investigation, changes your professional opinion of this investigation and the conclusions?
No, sir.
And what do you believe today in your heart?
That Shelby Shell murdered Ronnie King, robbed him of his belongings, committed burglary by not being in the house, or remaining in the house when he's not allowed to, and kidnapping by tying his hands and feet in his face.
That's
and
all.
Burning his house. Arson.
Thank you. That's all the questions I have.
Cross-examination.
There are times, Mishu, from my understanding, I guess it kind of depends, maybe the state and stuff, but there are times they have the medical examiner does come out to the crime scene. I can't say they take anything from the crime scene, but when they're actually, there's no physical evidence that linked Shelby to this crime.
Yes, we're ready for cross. Whenever you're ready.
I'm sorry?
Ready for cross. Whenever you're ready.
Yes, I just have to bring in my computer real quick, Your Honor.
You didn't have a computer.
And things you did in that investigation. I want to first start off talking about some things you did from the 18th until the 24th. Okay. So you interviewed witnesses. We talked about that yesterday, maybe the day before.
Yes, Debbie.
Family members, right?
Yes, sir. One of the other officers that assisted me, yes.
And people in the neighborhood. And then anybody else of interest, right? And specifically before the 24th, your person of interest was Kevin Dixon. Is that right?
Initially, yes, sir.
And you issued subpoenas for stuff on topics. I think I asked you that before.
Yes, sir, I think I did.
And you in fact got information back from Windstream about topics.
Yes, provided, I think there was a IP address.
And that IP address, I mean, I don't know much about 64119747171 from Windstream Communications, posted 18th of February, I guess, 2013 at 10:54. Did you find out where that IP address is?
No, sir, I never made it that far by the time we get the evidence organized and everything else through the investigation. I went down the path that we're on now.
Okay. You can search for IP addresses pretty instantly, right?
Don't know.
So if I got on, what's my IP
Why wouldn't he check an IP address? I'm going to play it today, Mishu.
address? When I typed in that location,
6 years after the crime, exactly. I mean, for real.
Objection. He says he is not an expert. He doesn't know about the IP address, and he's testified. And he's testified. I don't know where he's going with his next question, but he's asking him expert questions about IP address. We had an expert yesterday who was from the Kentucky State Police cyber electronic crimes branch. So I don't know where he's going with this.
I'll tell you where I'm going. I just punch in those numbers and it tells me a place far away from evidence.
Well, are you testifying?
You can't.
Why not?
You can't testify.
We can have our investigator testify.
That's
You can't testify.
Well, we can just ask him.
We're talking about the IP address.
Everybody's talking at once.
Hang on.
And there is expert testimony for
You
that.
can't testify. I'm not testifying. Okay. Look, you can't do a demonstration with your phone. I mean, if you have a witness who can go through all that, then it's fine. Can I ask him about one more question about the IP address and just ask him if it came from my or not? If you, well, I don't know if you know, but you can ask him. If you, but you're saying. No, he said he didn't know. But you're saying the IP address, and I thought you started punching your phone saying you could get the IP address, and you're assuming that it's out there. And yet that hasn't been established by any witness that they know what it is or if it's available or anything like that. And you can't say yourself up.
Wow.
Your question.
I know you guys are hearing this.
Expertise. I think it's common knowledge. I think it's fact. Can IP address is a place?
No,
that has nothing to do with being an expert.
But it ain't evidence. Okay. So
Okay.
The IP address is the place, but it's not evidence.
we're looking at topics
Wow.
because there was talk on topics about the murder. Is that right?
I think one of the family members called and told me about it.
Yeah, topics doesn't exist anymore. But back in 2013, topics was, for better or worse, like a gossip website.
Yes, sir.
About small towns.
About everything, from my understanding.
But each little town had its own topic site, right?
I don't know. I know there's one for Harlan. I don't know about every other town.
All right, so there was a Harlan topic site. When you got on there, did you notice a thread about Kevin Dixon?
No, sir. Topics is not a thing that I commonly look at. One of the family's members asked me to look at that. I can't even remember what the topic was, but that's been something that I didn't even put a copy of the subject in the case. So I can't really testify intelligently about why I wanted the IP address. Obviously I did because I sent it to pay for it.
It came up again in your interview with Ernie Shell, where he said, and then I seen on topics where Ronnie had been shot. Ernie said that, right?
Yes, sir. I'll give you that. I don't remember that, but sure it is.
And Ernie said that he researched on topics about the murder before going to Marvin Lippert. Is that right?
I don't know. I'd have to listen to the tape again.
Okay. And you said yesterday that after talking to Ernie Shell and Jimbo Collins, you basically stayed up all night on the 24th into the 25th and obtained a search warrant and an arrest warrant for Shelby Shell. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Stayed up rest of that night, into the day, into the late evening hours of the
25th of February? 25th of February, 2013.
And I couldn't understand why the interviews with Ernie and Shelby were done at 11 p.m. into 2 a.m.
So on the 25th, you didn't have DNA results back, did you?
No.
And you didn't have any fingerprint analysis from the duct tape done, did you?
No.
And you didn't have any results from the coroner's office, did you?
No.
And you didn't have any testing done from, say, scientists to analyze how the fires were started from an arson expert, did you?
Did I have the results or? No, did I have the results of the evidence collected at the scene from the fires?
Why not? It's important to know how the fire started. Ernie said that Shelby carried around lighter fluid for some reason. But yet, when they find all this evidence, they find a gas can. Now, I do know that there is testimony about the fire. So when we listen to that, that's going to be very interesting.
At that point, you had witnesses, specifically Jerry Mulkey, Shannon Thompson, I believe is her name, and J.R. Farley, who put Kevin Dixon at Ronnie King's house. You had that knowledge on the 25th, right?
Yes, sir.
3 people said that there was someone else, Detective Cornett's person of interest, at the Ronnie King home.
Would you refresh my memory of what date you're talking about?
On the 25th?
On the 25th. Okay, go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
on the 25th, did you know that Ernie and Kevin Dixon were Facebook friends?
No, sir.
Did you do any investigation into Kevin's relationship with Ernie?
No, sir.
Why? Why would you not do an investigation into Ernie and his relationship with a person of interest in the Ronnie King Red Rum? Why?
After the conversation with Ernie, did you search his car?
No, sir.
And you didn't search his house?
No, sir.
You didn't take any of his clothing, such as his shoes?
No.
Did you get what size shoe he wore?
No.
Did you ask what kind of car he drove?
Nope.
Wow.
So it's fair to say you didn't investigate Ernie at all?
I give you that. Sure.
Wow. That's messed up, you guys.
And in the few hours between talking to Ernie and Jimbo, did you at all investigate the relationship between Ernie and Jimbo?
They told me they were friends. And obviously from the statements that they each provided separately, I can ascertain that they were friends and close friends.
Close friends. Did you have time in those hours to investigate Jimbo's house burning down?
Nope. No, sir.
Did you know that his house burned down?
He told me that. Yes, sir. I think that was part of the reason that Ernie Shell and Shelby Shell were having him move furniture was because he was living in a rental house because his other house had previously burnt down.
And in the 5 years following, you haven't investigated Ernie or Jimbo, have you?
No, sir.
Now that YMT video, that was taken before you talked to Shelby. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
But you did interview Shelby at the job, right?
Yes.
And in that, Shelby said, and I'm going to summarize here, but for the better words that Ernie said him up. You remember him saying that?
Yes, sir, I do.
And he said, you can look at my phone records. Do you remember him saying that?
That sounds like something he would say, yes, sir.
And he consented to the DNA?
He did consent to the buccal swab for DNA testing. Yes, sir. He did.
Send it to the DNA.
Okay. Just like you issued subpoenas with this topics, you can issue subpoenas for phone records, can't you?
Yes, sir.
And you can get phone records from Mr. Shell, right? You're able to do that?
Yes, sir.
And you're able to get Ernie Shell's phone records?
Yes, sir.
And you did, in fact, obtain Ronnie King's phone records?
Yes.
Right? But you never did obtain Shelby's phone records, did you?
No.
And you never obtained Ernie's records?
No, sir.
And you never obtained Jimbo Collins' records?
No. No, sir.
I want to talk a little bit about what could be in those records if we had them. Cell phones use cell towers, is that correct?
That's my understanding, yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I'm going to say this right from the get. This case is messed up. Messed up. No, Mishu, it wasn't a 6-year-old tip. Ernie got with law enforcement right away to tell on his brother.
Cell phone
technician. Part of getting that phone data could be you could see what cell tower was used, right?
Your Honor.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Your Honor, may we approach?
Wow, that's crazy. All right, they're approaching again.
I'm allowed to ask him things he doesn't know.
It sounds like he's testifying.
I'm absolutely allowed to ask him things he
May I
doesn't know.
finish my
So let
statement,
Mr.
please?
Boggs finish.
It sounds like he's saying that you can ping cell phone towers. He said, I don't know. And he's asking, he's made a statement, you can ping cell phone towers. And he's got an expert, a witness, who can say you can ping cell phone towers in Eastern Kentucky and indicate where someone traveled, then he needs to put that expert on.
I am perfectly allowed to ask.
But you can testify.
I'm not testifying. I'm asking him what he knows. And I'm allowed to ask him what he knows and what he doesn't know.
You're allowed to
And he
ask
doesn't
him
know
if
about cell phone
he
pinging.
knows
He doesn't
how-
know. And that's
does
a
he
perfectly
know?
permissible question.
I don't remember the word pinging coming up in this.
I never
trial.
said pinging.
You did too.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did not say the word pinging.
Yes, you did.
I said cell tower. I never said pinging. Run it back.
You said ping.
I did not say ping. He said ping.
Well, I think
I
you
did not.
don't remember what you said.
Wow.
You can't.
Yep,
you
there's
can't-
Shelby right there.
If you can ask him if he knows anything about tracing cell phone calls, and he doesn't know, then that's the end of the matter. But you can't inject information by questioning.
Your Honor, there's one more question I think we should be able to ask, and that's whether or not the Kentucky court has made a referral to any central lab experts on cell towers. There are
Bingo.
experts
That's
in
fine.
Kentucky.
That's fair. That's fair game. That's your
Well,
answer.
we know he didn't ask any question about cell towers. Wow.
In your
Yeah.
investigation, you never referred Shelby's phone number or Jimbo Collins' phone number or any phone number out to an expert that might be able to get data from those phone numbers, did you?
No, the only expert that I sent the phone to was Electronic Crimes Division. Sent
And that leads me to my next question.
I'm sorry, sir. Can I-
Interviewed Mr. Shell on February 25th, 2013, right?
Shelby Shell?
Yes.
Yes, sir, I did.
And you didn't get a search warrant for that phone until 3 years later, right?
Yes, sir. Well, I was instructed that I needed a search warrant for them to conduct a test.
Let me find his text messages. So Mr. Shell said, you can look at my text messages when you interviewed him in 2013, right?
I don't remember if he said that or not.
Well, we just heard it on the video, so.
Okay.
If
it's on the video, then he didn't tell me.
He said, it's right on the cell phone. Go back in, he calls. So we now have those cell phone records. And on February 17th, 2013, there's a text to Kiefer. Do you know who Kiefer is?
Your Honor,
No, sir.
may we approach again?
Don't know who Kiefer is. I think this is getting into, let's see what this is getting into. Okay, they're gonna call a female up.
See, please speak up loudly and clearly so we can all hear you.
Please identify yourself and spell your full name, please, for the record.
My name is Jessica Copeland. It's Jessica Copeland. And I'm employed at the Kentucky State Police Eastern Laboratory Branch located in Ashland, Kentucky.
So you work every day in Ashland, or I mean, that's where your lab is,
That's
Ashland, Kentucky.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been employed there?
I have, I graduated from Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia in 2004. I have a bachelor's degree in micromolecular biology, and I started working at the forensic lab in August of 2004 and have been there ever since.
So in the course of your work there at Eastern Laboratory Branch in Ashland, Kentucky, did you have the occasion to examine a white pillow in the case of Kentucky State Police Post 10, case 13C01153?
Yes, sir, I did.
Could you tell the jury about the process you went through to examine this piece of evidence and how it came to you, et cetera?
So the white pillow was submitted to the crime lab by Post 10, and that item of evidence was submitted with a request for a distance determination. So
I'm sorry, for a request for what?
Distance determination.
Distance determination.
And when an item of evidence is submitted with that request, what we do is we microscopically examine the item, and I did some chemical testing, so it was chemically processed as well. And what we're looking for are gunshot residues, like partially burned and unburned gunpowder particles or lead residues. And so in the course of my examination, I documented the widths of those holes, and what I had was a pillow with a perforating hole which went through each side, and both sides of that pillow were processed chemically, examined microscopically, and there were inside the hole the fabric, the stuffing of the pillow was melted inside. The hole was wider than a typical bullet hole, and lead residues around the edges of both holes were produced, and that's typical of what a contact gunshot looks like. So that was the result of the examination.
So based upon your examination, is that within a degree of scientific certainty?
That's correct.
What were you able to conclude?
So the pillow was microscopically examined and chemically processed, and a hole in the center displays chemical and physical effects typical of a contact gunshot.
If I may approach the witness,
Yes, sir.
and to exhibit almost exhibit 3, the photos. In this collection of photos, I'm showing will be in this collection of photos some photos of a pillow. Have you seen that particular pillow and gunshot?
Yes, this photo does look like the evidence I received.
And that you examined to find the gunshot wound. I mean, the gunshot hole in the wound of the pillow. If a pillow can have a wound, but a hole in the pillow. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you complete a report of that examination?
Yes, I did.
And when is it dated?
The report date of completion is May 20th, 2013.
I may approach. Did you sign that report?
Mm-hmm.
I did, sir.
And is this a true and accurate copy of that report?
Yes, sir.
I'll move to introduce this, Your Honor, as exhibit. Where we are. Exhibit 11. Thank you.
Any objection?
No.
None. All right. Okay, the report is introduced as Commonwealth's Exhibit 11.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. Any cross-examination?
Can I see that report? Exhibit 11.
Okay, so she described the pillow. we're going to talk about the pillow also. So what I want to do is, because that video is done. Let me get my ducks in a row here. My friends. I think he's afraid of Shelby because he set Shelby up. I have a feeling because, I mean, when he was getting ready to be tased, he was freaking out and saying that Shelby was basically coming to get him, right? Hey, Sue. So I want to, I really wanted to find this woman that testified. I was going to show you guys her testimony today. So we're just going to pop over to the Facebook Justice for Ronnie King. Okay? Now, we're going to start with Ernie. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to go by the date. We're going to go to January 1st, 2017. Let me find it. That's 2013. On September 7th, 2022, Ernie says, there are people who are trying to get Shelby released and a new trial. Will anyone from the King family or friends like to come to my show tonight to remind others what kind of monster Shelby is? Thank you. Now, that was just in 2022. So Ernie is trying to get people to come over and be on his show. He says, this is the family of Ronnie King. On February 26th, 2020. And I'm going backwards here. I apologize. He says, I just heard Shelby serves out this Friday. I prayed for Harlan, Kentucky. Here is the messages between my sister and I. Shelby and Ernie's sister, Amber. And stop assuming shit. You can't answer? He says, nope. That's your problem. You will never know. See ya. Everyone else will. Want to be like that over nonsense? He says, including DCS. You only know what people assume. Well, explain them on this. You want answer me, GD? Not going to either. Angelia blocks you. I don't give a flying F. You don't even know what's going on, Ernie. Someone named Carl says, that's crazy. He ain't even getting out. He serves out Friday, yes, but he's going straight back to HCDC. You gonna unblock me? That was uncalled for. You think I was buying a vehicle for Shelby? I'm confused. You're crazy, Ernie. He ain't even getting out. So then we're going to go down to March 14th. March 14th, 2019. When was the trial? 3/12, 2019. The trial was in March. And I will be showing this witness testimony, okay? It is about a pillow. This witness states that Ernie himself had put a pillow to her head for reasons that I will let her tell you herself, but I'm going to read this to you. I'm so sorry for your family. I wanted justice, but justice failed your family. Let's see if my ears and eyes heard and seen right this time, or seen this right. Did she just say what I thought? Did she mention the word pillow? Last time I saw her was in 2012. This is weird to me. He says the police never told anyone what happened. So how did she know to say pillow? Well, Ernie, she was saying pillow not because of Ronnie King or Shelby Shell. It was because of something she said you did. Could be because she is Shelby's girlfriend, not mine. Could that be why you're jealous? Is that what it was all about? Shelby got out of prison. Them women, all of them women around you probably thought that they were moving up in the world, in my opinion anyway. I know how we can prove all this. Let's take a look at the jail and prison recorded phone call, shall we? She lied under oath, and I aim to prove that. Well, you didn't prove it, Ernie. Oh, by the way, WYMT News, I never lived with her. That was messed up. Trust me, she has a Facebook only a mother, and Shelby could love seriously. Pam lied under oath. I don't understand why I wasn't allowed to prove she was lying. Well, your brother didn't get to prove if you were lying or not, Ernie. Read above that you should show how easy it's done. Read above that you should show how easy it's done. Are you telling them to read what you've wrote in there? Okay, whatever. Now, own to my dear old Uncle John. John Paul lied under oath to discredit me with no proof whatsoever. A man who has a very colorful record versus a man who has nothing, no crimes whatsoever. What can you say about this poor fella? John and I have nothing at all on my record, but you, sir, wow, you have a colorful record. As the old saying goes, to try again. Try again. I was the one who brought him to justice to save a poor, helpless community from a savage, uncaged lion ready to devour anyone and everyone. I will finish the case where the justice system failed. If it was that easy to discredit anyone and lie under oath, everyone would do it. Pam incriminated herself and Shelby by mentioning the pillow. Hello, wake up, prosecution. The pillow had never been named by the police. If I was the prosecution's, heck, alone there is 35 questions to find out how she knew about the pillow. Recorded phone calls from the prison and jail will tell the story. From Shelby's own mouth, he admitted killing him, and it was recorded crystal clear, slam dunk, no how. Ernie, why are you on this family's Facebook trying to prove your innocence. The day before he'd done his Texas highway run, he'd done one in Tennessee and was out in time for the one the next day. Tennessee is a mandatory 72-hour hold. Ernie and his production. All right. Let's go to, which one's this? January 1st, 2018. Oh, well, here's one right here. January 1st, 2018. The family's talking about missing their loved one. Talking about the trial starting. He says, Ernie says, sorry. Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm going to read this to you, okay? This was January 1st, 2018, before the trial. Thank you, Flies. I think about you, Ronnie King, sometimes. What happened to you just makes me so angry. I'm not an angry person, but I can't sleep sometimes knowing that the person who did this to you is still sitting in a jail cell, not really paying for what he did to you. The 8th of this month, the trial is supposed to start. I pray to God that it does. It's really been way too long. I just want what's right. What happened to my uncle was so wrong, and I want to start out this new year knowing in my heart and soul that the monster who did this is paying for it. I can't put it behind me. I can't get closure. There ain't no closure with something like this. I don't feel pity for his family. All my family has is a grave, and they still got him. Remember, she says, I don't feel pity for his family. If it was up to me, he would pay for this with his life. I don't care if it sounds bad. It's just how I feel. Love you, Uncle Ronnie, always. I just want this for you. You didn't deserve this. Breaks my heart. My heart will always be broken because of this. And to the family of Ronnie King, our prayers are with you. Our prayers are with you. Ernie says, sorry, but you're wrong. Both families have been affected deeply by this. Shelby will get what's coming to him. The 8th of the month will soon be here, and I, too, also hope for justice. Why is it so important, Ernie, that you, to me, and this is my opinion, and we ain't even read the worst one, are trying to get sympathy for yourself from this family? I'm sorry, but that's the way I'm looking at this. Okay, then we've got no. Let's see. July, that's 2017. February 11th. This next one's really bad, too. Where am I at? January 27th. I need 31st. How did I miss that? Hang on. Bear with me, you guys. I need January 31st. Is that the one I just read? Yeah, I think that's the one I just read. Okay. What I'm looking for now is January 1st, 2018. How did I pass that by? I need March 14th. How did I get my date screwed up here? Hang on, I'll find myself. Give me just a minute. 31st, 2017. Okay. That was March 14th, 2019. I read that to you guys. Now I need January 1st, 2018, which should be back this way, right? Shows you how much I know about freaking you. Well, wait, where'd they go? That goes from February 27th, 2017. Where's 2018? Here we go. Okay, that's the one I just read to you guys. Okay, so we got that one out of the way. Okay, wait, I want to make sure I got these right. Oh, I read March 14, 2019, right? February 26, 2020. Let's see if I can find that. I thought I was going backwards, though. Oh, wait. Okay. This is January 24, 2020. And I read that one to you guys. Okay. All right. Let's go back this way. February 26, 2020. Ernie talks about Shelby horribly. Oh, why am I going fucking backwards? Where's that one I'm looking for? Damn it. Dang it, dang it. Gonna get a rope and hang it. High from the highest tree. Woman, won't you wait for me? Do 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 do. Flies, which one is it that we were reading last night? Where he calls hang on, I'll find it. Because it's disgusting. Where is that? Okay, I'm gonna have to find it. It is disgusting. Okay, this one was January 1st, 2018. Maybe I got the year wrong. So, Okay, wait a minute. I know, I'm being a pain in the butt, you guys. That was March 4, 2019. Where the hell is that? All right, let me switch. Let me chill for a minute. I need a woosah moment. There were comments that when you looked, it looked like they had been taken off, right? But we don't know who did it. We do not know who did it. But there is a post on here that is horrible. Horrible. Okay, so this is 2013. I read September 7th, 2022. I read you guys February 26th, 2020. Then we're going to go into March 14th, 2019. And I read that to you guys. That was about the pillow. Then we need January 1st, 2018. Let me find it. This is going from 2016 there's 2017. Where's the post from January 1st, 2018? Right there. And then I want January 31st, 2017. Okay, wait, I'll find it. There's the 27th. Oh no, I wanted 2017. Okay, wait a minute. Give me 1 minute. January 31st, 2017. I've got something messed up here, you guys. Ernie left a comment about Shelby being a RAPE. He said some horrible things. I guess I'll have to go through and find it. Because I can't find it now. Damn it. Damn it. I would have more respect for the family if brother done this to their loved one and not be all up in the justice for them page. I'm not seeing it now either. It's crazy. Hey, Colt 45. Yes, Ernie and Shelby look a lot alike. Okay, let me see if I'm just not pulling it up in the comments. Because that's where it was in the comments. Okay, that was January 1st. We're looking for January 31st, 2017. I will find it. Because it's going to drive me crazy if I don't find it. January 1st. Hold on. Well, where the hell is it? Because I know it was in the comments, and I'll pull the comments up. That don't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Because it's going from January 7th of 2019 there's January 16th, 2018. And then it goes to October 4th, 2017. Make that make sense. Did they remove some of this? January 31st, 2017. Wow. I'm going to have to look at that, you guys. That doesn't make any sense. He might have reported the whole comment to Facebook. Well, I'll find it if it's there, because he was saying all these horrible things about his brother Shelby. I mean, horrible things about his brother Shelby. And I wish I could have caught it yesterday when I was looking at it. Because I do not see it now. Unless I'm just too freaking dumb to see it now. Some of these comments are gone. Because it goes from January 16, 2018. It goes from January 7, 2019 to January 16, 2018. down to October 4th, 2017. And some of the comments are gone. Dang. Wow. Okay. I already read the January 1st, 2018. The next post is October 4th, 2017. Yeah, it's gone. It is gone. Wow. Well, I wonder why. Makes you wonder why. Hmm. No visible comments. I wonder why they did that. Well, thank you, Debbie, for hanging out. Thank you so much. I'm going to get ready to get off here because I know I've kind of hit I don't want everybody to get bored. Tomorrow we will be showing day 2 of the trial, but I will add, we will start out tomorrow with Ernie Shell and I think it's James Collins. I'll go ahead and start with that tomorrow. Them on the witness stand. And so tomorrow will be day 2 and Jimbo and Ernie's testimonies. But we're going to be watching the whole trial. I want to let you guys know that. We're going to be watching the whole trial. So, but I wanted to go over that Facebook. I don't understand why they took that comment off. Do you think Ernie said something to him and they took it off? Yeah, the comments were deleted. Sure was. And like I said, I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. He talked about Shelby like a dog. Like a dog. For real. But my brain is kind of turning to mush. But I'm going to say this. I am not looking at Ernie Shell as this big YouTube creator who, you know, is a scammer and grifter and all of that. I'm trying to look at him as Shelby Shell's brother. I don't understand why Shelby, from the get-go, when even talking with Detective Cornett, says, I feel like my brother's setting me up. That's what he says. We listened to the phone call that Ernie placed to Shelby, where it sounded like he woke Shelby up. Shelby even says something about, Ernie's like, oh man, I've been up all night. And so it's like he wakes Shelby up. And at some point, we'll go back and listen to that again. Or, check it out. It's on my channel. Go catch up with everything. Or you could go to the places that I've named and gave credit for their videos. Go check them out. This is what I'm going to say, though. Any creator that I am using their content, I've tried to ask permission from them. Okay? Oh, for sure, Rita. And thank you for putting in my opinion. I appreciate that. I don't care how anybody feels about these people. Please do not go and show them any hate whatsoever. No hate whatsoever. Also, this is me and my opinion. Ernie Shell is evil. There's an evilness to him. There's just an evilness there. I'm not going to sit here and tell you Ernie's guilty of anything. We know that Shelby pled to complicity. And from what we heard today, coming out of Detective Cornett's mouth especially, I do not feel like there was even a thorough investigation of this case. When Shelby pled to complicity, to me, he was saying, yeah, I said that Mr. King had a lot of money or jewelry or whatever. But he did not admit to red rumming Mr. King at all. And please, let's not forget that the victim here, his name is Ronnie King. And what we're doing on my channel is going over the case and looking at the investigative part of it. I already feel that it was a crap show. If you can be found guilty of a serious crime like that, just because your brother or somebody else says, hey, my brother did this, we're going to hear about, and this is what gets me also, the fact that at some point Shelby talks about a reality show, Ernie and a reality show or something. Now, if I would have heard that back when all this first started coming out, I probably wouldn't have paid any attention to it. But now, knowing about Ernie and, his reality show dreams, it makes me hear something a little bit different. A little bit different. So, Ronnie King, yes, I agree. And yeah, thank you, Flies. In the trial, we'll hear more about Kevin Dixon also. But tomorrow, definitely part 2. I'm going to try really hard to keep it at 2 hours. And, I know that we hit 3 hours today. But I think after about 2 hours, everybody's like, ugh. So I just want people to really, really listen to this trial. And the sad part about it is this could happen to anybody. This could happen to anybody. Well, the thing about it is, Rita, when a lot of people, talked about Shelby Shell and that case, the only reason they did it is because they were trying to find dirt on Ernie. And in my opinion, they hit pay dirt on Shelby's trial because something isn't right. Something isn't. I'm not saying Shelby is innocent. Don't get me wrong. If to me, if Shelby committed the red rum himself without no help, I would think that the DA's office would want to get him with the red rum of Ronnie King, not complicity with the whole kit and caboodle. But that's just me, right? And it's sad. It's sad. Like I said, I'm not saying Shelby didn't deserve to get some time over the situation, but I don't understand why Ernie wasn't investigated at all. That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, please, you guys email me if you feel that a case that you've been following or know about didn't you think get the justice that it deserved. Please email me about it, okay? Right. I don't see Ernie as a credible witness either, at all. And we will talk about the missing girl that, Ernie supposedly called law enforcement and everything about. We'll talk about that, I promise. I know it's probably a big thing on YouTube now and everybody's talking about it, which they should be, but not for the reasons they're talking about it. They need to talk about it because there's a young 17-year-old girl missing. Okay? A young 17-year-old girl missing. And her name is Casey Brumet. Casey Brumet. She's 17 years old. And she is missing from Laurel County, Kentucky. And like I said, I will talk about her case, but not while I'm talking about Ernie Shell or the Shelby Shell trial. I'm sorry, it ain't gonna happen. This young lady deserves to be talked about, given her own time, and we will do that, I promise. Thank you, Flies, for dropping the Facebook link, and thank you for dropping my little 2-item wish list on Amazon. And thank you for dropping my Cash App. I appreciate that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep trying to, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. It's just kind of been hard lately because, I have my moments, you guys. I really do. I have my moments. It's just not been easy. Not been easy. But I I won't put that on you guys. Because we've all got problems. We've all got problems. And I will never sit and say that my problems are, you know, are more than anybody else's problems. Because that's not fair. That's not fair to do that. So, but thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, Fly, so much. You've been a really good friend. And I appreciate you. I want you to know that. You too, Sassy Ann. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. And we'll get into the trial day 2. And yeah, I hear you on that. 99 problems and winning the lottery ain't one of them. So, but yeah, thank you guys. Definitely keeping me distracted. And I appreciate you guys for that. So, thank you, Sue. All right, I'm going to get off here. I'm at 3 hours exactly. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Kiki. I pray for you too, Kiki. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you, mods. Mods, we are going to try to get together over on the Facebook page and have a mod meeting. I'll do that as soon as I can. So there are... what is it, Flies? A audio over there that Flies left. You guys can go check that out. You know, it's just kind of giving an idea on, you know, what's going on as we go through this trial. So thank you, everybody who has given me permission to use your stuff. I appreciate that so much. Like I said, don't go hating on any of these people at all. So, thank you guys. Peace out. Have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Email me if you need me, you guys. Thank you.